Welcome to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
I am Simon. I play Bertha Huggins, aka Huggy Bear.
I'm Al, or Draenor. I'm playing Mav or Maverick.
My name is Les, and I will be playing Murin.
My name is Jack. I'm going to be playing Toyger.
Hello, I'm Michael, and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian. I am the GM. If you would like to follow our runner's journey through 2072's New York, please feel free to check out the link to our living campaign map in the show notes. Additionally, if you would like to submit any new locations or create background information for any of the districts, details on how to submit this can also be found in the show notes. The following content may contain themes and material not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Hi folks, there's a couple of quick announcements before we jump into the episode. First is a shout out to all the other Shadowrun actual plays that are currently dropping episodes that you may want to check out, and these are podcasts that I'm listening to myself as well. So, a big shout out to the Pink Fauxhawk podcast, whose idea this was and is generally an all-round awesome bloke running an awesome show. Sinless, Easy Mode, I love some of the ballsy story choices you've made. I look forward to getting caught up. I'm only up to episode 3 of season 2 so far. Resting Glitchface, awesome show, absolutely hilarious, and we're just getting to the point where some of the storylines are looking like they're going to start resolving too. Honourable mentions to an absolute Dreckstorm and Hard Knock Sorority as well. I haven't got around to listening to you folks yet, I'm sorry, but I will. And of course to the absolute godfather of Shadowrun podcasts, the Arcology. I really hope you folks drop an episode soon. I want to find out what happens to the team. And also a final shout out to the What the Dice podcast as well. They're a Pathfinder, not Shadowrun podcast, but have been following us and have just joined our Discord. I'm looking forward to tuning into you folks. The second announcement is that you might have noticed from our introduction that sadly, Slipstream's player Ardwin has left us. This does occasionally happen with RPGs, real life does have a habit of getting in the way from time to time. However, we will be continuing and we have lots more material already recorded and edited, ready and waiting for you. Thank you so much for your patience during the announcements. I won't keep you from the action anymore. Here comes the recap. Last time on the podcast, now that they've dropped off their precious cargo with the Sons of Sauron, Ancients and Mothers of Meta-Humanity, the team have been given a new job, and Murin nearly got convicted of driving while troll. Can the runners find the Humanis safe house that contains their pay data?
Well, shit, Toto. It looks like we're in fucking Kansas. Reconnoiter, I suppose? Are there any interesting cakes on display that I could go look at?
You'd need to go round, like the main entrance is round the other side. If you go into the main hall, I'll say you can just absorb this as part of your lifestyle. It's like a 3 new yen cover charge to get in. They're collecting money for charity, so yeah, whatevs. They've currently got like a big old hall. There seems to be like a divider in here, a dividing wall, that they've not got up right now, but they can bring it across when they have like events or groups that need it, that kind of thing.
Oh, like one of those rolly fabric walls you get in...
It's more like flat slats that accordion down against the wall into a cupboard, and then you grab it and you pull it out, and it's like 2-inch thick.
I know the ones.
If anybody has ever been in a scout hall...
Yeah, basically. There's a lot of people in here. It's not a church hall, but it's kind of like a church hall charity event.
Yeah, I have a fairly solid picture of what this looks like.
There's like stuff on sale, like old data chips and old electronics and like old clothes and stuff like that. And it's like 10 o'clock at the moment, I think we said it was. They're also selling particularly shit soy calf in plastic cups for like a new yen. Plastic cups that they've then got the extra plastic bit that you can put around it, so you then got a handle so you're not burning the crap out of your hand.
Is this all the hall that's been made accessible to attendance of the charity luncheon?
So there's like a kitchenette area as well. That seems to be the domain of the various grannies. They seem to be making like cake and stuff in there, but it's a bit of a case of woe betide anybody that goes in there and interrupts them.
I'll have no fear like an old white woman with her one area of control interrupted.
Yeah.
But you see, I am a vaguely malnourished-looking white boy. They will dote on me and mother me. It's instinctual. Don't know if I want to risk it.
One thing that... Roll me a perception check, both of you, actually.
1 hit.
2 hits.
While we're doing this, I'll have set Dalmaling on a kind of automatic, just scanning the room to get a floor plan.
Okay, are you rigged into Dalmaling?
No, it's working on automatic at the moment.
Okay, so are you making a perception roll for it?
It'll just be building up a floor plan, so working out all the entrances and exits. You know,
Yep.
basically giving me a 3D plan of the building as it sees it.
Yeah, absolutely fine. So, Toyger more than Sunshine is noticing there's humans of all different ethnicities in here, but there's not any ears that aren't round.
Conspicuously absent.
Yes, there's a severe lack of pointed ears in here.
Can I sense the area?
Yeah, absolutely. This is more perception than asensing. Asensing is when you're reading an aura. Perception is what is around me on the magical plane. But if you want to roll a separate perception for the astral, that's absolutely fine.
2 hits.
The astral here is not too bad. Most of the people here are healthy. There's a little bit of wear around, but it's mostly the odd pair of cyber eyes and a data jack, stuff like that. There's no... Apart from one guy, there doesn't seem to be any heavy-duty chrome. He seems to have a cyber arm. He screams either veteran or cop, but there's not really anybody magically active either that you're picking up on. It's fairly boring, to be honest.
I'm going to try and focus on the off-duty cop, purely because he's the only other person out of place, and there's no one and nothing magical going on, is there? Is he sitting alone? Is he sitting with his family? Is there...
He appears to be getting dragged around the clothing stores by a woman who looks about probably 5 years younger than him.
I'm going to go and have a look at the nice clothes as well, see if they've got any fancy scarves or hats, and just sort of try and work it in such a way that I end up physically bumping into him.
You don't need to bump into him to sense him. You can just read him from across the room if you want to focus in on him.
Well, I'll do that first. I do want to bump into him because I want to chat with him also.
Yeah, sure.
A sensing...
Yep, so just give me a roll and I'll tell you what you can get off it. Apart from having cyber arm, he seems to be quite healthy. His general emotional state, kind of bored. He's definitely mundane. He's got the cyber arm. He also seems to have something... He's got cyber eyes as well, and he's got a little bit of head wear. Yeah, that's about all you're getting off him.
Sunshine's gonna grab a really terrible soy calf, drops like 10 new yen on a couple of raffle tickets, roll edge to see if I win anything, probably.
Go on.
1 hit.
On how many dice?
2.
You get... It's like a really shitty bottle of elderflower spritzer.
Yay! Sunshine looks super happy and walks away from it and then tries to find a bin. So then gonna just grab a soy calf and sit down at a table and then have a quick mosey around on Matrix.
There is a node here that is... Yeah, it's not running silent or anything. It just seems to be the community centre host.
Yeah, Sunshine at the moment, she's sat down looking like she's having soy calf.
Boot up some AR windows.
Yeah, playing with her phone, but it's actually put on the shades, batter a keyboard very quickly. I'm in. That's how hacking works, right?
It seems to be an open host. It's mostly just like, these events are happening, and bring your children to our playgroup, that kind of shit.
That's useful information. Check what time the last event today finishes.
Yeah.
And what time the first event tomorrow starts.
Also, just general opening hours for the community centre.
That too.
Give me an analyze, just to see if you can find it.
Ooh, 3 hits.
Yeah, you find it no problem. It's not hidden information particularly. You're gonna need an edit unauthorized to copy the information, but you can view it. You are taking an illegal action, so you will need to roll stealth as well.
2 hits.
You have managed to pass the stealth roll. The host doesn't pick up on you taking the action.
Huggy will take the van around to the nearest stopper shack or the first drive-in place where you can get coffee and food, and will get the largest coffee they can. Probably 2 of the largest coffees that they sell. If they sell it in buckets, I am buying it by the bucket. And a straw. And all the sugar that they will allow me to take. If they have the stacks, the little like pouring things of sugar on the tables, she will walk in and pick up one of the pouring things. And as Toyger says, if they sell the extra caffeine sachets, as many of them as they will sell her.
Is Huggy abso-fucking-lutely wired at this point?
Well, not yet. She's going to be slow. She's going to go sort of sit back down in the cocoon, and then set up the closest thing she can get to an IV with the coffee in it, which is the coffee kind of sitting in front of her with a straw in her mouth.
I'm imagining that there's just the coffee on the van floor next to the cocoon, and there's just like a rubber hose running into the cocoon in her mouth that she's just
something like that. Yes.
I have uploaded the timetable that you have managed to get your grubby little mitts on.
It seems like the last thing, one of which is a Humanis Polyclub meeting. Last thing ends at midnight, and the centre might close at 1 a.m.
That's what it looks like.
The last things finish at midnight, and right, it's fuck off home time. People go away. Is midnight the time they shut the place basically?
They have a swing jazz group. So, just out of question, what are people's bets on just how bad their jazz is?
It's not quite hate crime against everyone that's ever listened to jazz level, but it's not a kick in the ass off it.
That's going on just now, the jazz group.
That's starting at 11. Oh, no, that's starting at 10. That's starting now, yes.
What's the
Philatelic stamp collecting.
Oh my god.
Sunshine is not to enter that room under any circumstances. The sight of a woman unclothed may send them into catatonic shock.
Quotes, unclothed?
It's Sunshine, she's barely clothed. Say with the greatest of affection.
Straight up, put in the Humanis Polyclub meeting, just out there in public.
I mean, Humanis is a legitimate
Humanis is a
polyclub.
very respectable polyclub. They're not racist at all, they just happen to like humans.
They are legal. They do try to cultivate a respectable image most of the time.
I noticed that at 6-8, from 6 till 8 you've got the Republican meeting, 8 till 10 the NRA, 10 till 12 the Humanis Polyclub. They're different meetings, but I'm willing to bet that
There's a lot of shared membership there.
I'm imagining that for most of the people in these clubs, they are staying from 6 till 12.
Yeah.
don't they have children to go home and neglect?
I suspect this is the best time of just their children's months. 6 hours away from dad.
There's an awful lot of charity drive on here.
It's from 9 till 5. It's the whole working day in the paired room.
South Bronx Armature Theatre Group.
This was written by Red.
A known dyslexic.
Yeah, so am I.
I think that was meant to be amateur.
I read that as amateur, I didn't even notice.
I read that as amateur and assumed it was something like,
Exoskeleton theatre.
What the fuck not? It's an exoskeleton theatre group now.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's a theatre group made up of people who have had legs or arms, have lost legs or arms. Is a theatre group made up of people who would be, what's the word?
Amputees?
Amputees, yes, that's the one.
Isn't that just called cybernetics and a completely normal thing?
Yes, but this is not a completely normal place.
Valid.
They might well refer to them as the amateur theatre group. Also, it's a pun on amateur theatre.
I'm just canonizing my spelling mistake with that justification now. Fuck it.
It's quite wholesome. An amputee support and theatre group.
Yeah. Well, it helps them to get into the movement of their new limbs. It helps them to feel, when you're having that sort of phantom limb pain, that sort of feeling like you're not part yourself anymore. It's very good to be able to put yourself into somebody else's head to get out of that feeling of not being you. You no longer feel like you're pretending to be yourself. You're now actually pretending to be somebody else. And then when you come back to being you, you're like, no, this is really me.
You seem to know an awful lot about theatre, Huggy. Is there something you're not telling us?
Hage knows very little about theatre.
Just keep telling yourself that, Poppet.
Huggy is bullshitting and it happens to sound decent.
Huggy was in her high school dramatic society.
Just as if you will pardon the term Rega, rather than she was in the Ent group as opposed to the actual acting group.
I can kind of see that. It's the person doing all the lights being basically like a trainee building spider or something.
Yeah, and controlling the drones need to be on stage for the different parts. You can have with drones. It means you can have lighting in so much better places. You're not fixed with one fixed lighting rig. You can have a drone lights and have one rigger controlling all the lighting.
Romeo and Juliet with drones built by different companies.
That was one of the pieces we put on, actually. Hage helped write it. It wasn't the best.
Two corporations, both alike in dignity.
Lack thereof.
Yeah, is there anything else that you want to look for while you're at the community centre there, Sunshine and Toyger?
I don't have a scan program, so I'm not going to be able to look for hidden nodes at the moment.
Bear in mind that the server you're looking for is air-gapped, so you wouldn't be able to find it.
Infiltration is trying to sneak into places, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Do I trust 4 dice as being good enough to try and...
With this many perception checks around? It's definitely a horrible penalty for not paying attention to you, but...
What if there was a distraction?
See, I'm usually the distraction.
We don't want to call too much attention to ourselves. One thing that we do want to know is where the cameras are in here.
You would be able to get that from the host.
But that's definitely going to require hacking.
Would that be exploit?
It would.
That I can do. I can do exploit.
So you're doing this quick and dirty or slow and careful, bearing in mind slow and careful is an hour per roll.
Yeah, what time is it now and how long have we got left on the timetable?
Probably say it's about 10:30, so...
And we're currently at the charity drive.
Yeah.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, well, 6.5 hours, so 6 rolls. Although it's going to look a bit... I might need Toyger to keep me company and resupply me with soy calves just to not make it too obvious that I'm...
Might be better done from the van later.
Or possibly just go outside and find a hedge to hide under.
Or take a seat at one of the tables and, sit there with a coffee and cake and nobody will really pay much attention. Or you could take the coffee and the cake, go out, sit under one of the trees and look like you are eating coffee and cake.
Yeah.
There's various ways we can play this.
What's the weather like outside?
It's summer, so it's not actually too bad. It's not foully hot, but it's warm, overcast, muggy, not raining.
Yeah, I'd go outside and plonk myself under a tree with a ridiculous pile of a paper plate that's gone a little bit like folded and crumply, and it's got sort of cascading like walnut brownies and other like slightly shit carrot cake. Those I would call them the Rice Krispie chocolate things that you always get at bake sales.
Yeah.
And a cup of truly vile overbrewed soy calf. And then look like she's, I don't know, studying for the equivalent of an open university course or something. But doing hackies.
Infiltration is the nearest we've got to a stealth roll, so could I get an infiltration roll? It's just to see how well you pull this off, that's all.
2 hits.
I mean, you're not really dressed for the area, but you're young enough that it can be kind of passed off.
To be frank, I'm also human enough.
Okay, so if you're going to start hacking, give me your hacking plus exploit roll.
For a great start. That was 7 dice!
Did you glitch?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll roll my second one. Oh, that's better. 3 hits. Or 3.
Next one. And another.
Hour 4.
Please give me your stealth roll.
Sure. 3 hits.
This place, it's sculpted to look like a hill with a crown around the base. It's very happy shiny. It's a little bit uncanny valley, yeah, Teletubby. It's a bit... Oh, God. But they've...
REM music video.
Yeah. You've got yourself user level access, so you can make, like, basic changes. You can get at stuff, but you can't make changes to higher level. If you needed to do like changes to security, you'd need a security account, which you'd need to do some further hacking for. Are you wanting to go for the security account? You need 3 hits more than a basic account.
Oh, that's totally doable.
Yeah, you're in.
Cool.
Roll me your stealth, please.
1 hit.
How are you feeling about that roll?
Not great. I think that's the time to. Yep, so stealth -1. 4 hits, that's much better.
Yep, so you're absolutely fine. The Teletubby-esque things that are patrolling the area ignore you.
Oh god.
Fragging.
That is a terrifying
Creepy.
place. Like that.
Are there in fact 4 of them in primary colours?
I mean, there can be.
That's. You know the gang place that we hacked into earlier? This is more terrifying than that.
Yeah.
Michael, you've seen Happy, right?
Yeah.
The things in that. Give me an analyze roll.
2 hits.
Alright, so there are some cameras. They're mostly on the outside. They don't really seem to have many inside.
Okay. Would I be able to either loop the cameras now to just leave them looping, or set the cameras to start looping at a certain time?
You're about 4:30. I'm going to leave you for now.
Yep.
Because there are 5 hours in which you're peacefully sat in the sun drinking shitty soy calf, and go back to the others to deal with their dreck.
Yep, no worries.
Huggy, I think you said there was some other stuff you were wanting to do?
So I was wanting to, when they go out to start the hacking, I will have them leave Daumerling drop to the ground and try and get a better floor plan of the place.
Where would you like to go? Give me an infiltration roll. How are you doing this? Are you fully rigged? Are you remote control, or are you autonomous?
I will be going with autonomous for this one because I am running it from this distance. I don't want to
Yeah,
takes. I know that I'm going to be is going to be more difficult and there's going to be noise, so it's a lot easier if I just let the drone do it itself.
Okie doke. So, where is it going first?
So we will try and get Daumerling through that door.
Could you give me an infiltration roll, please?
There we go.
You manage to get through. Basically, you get yourself right up to the corner to like the skirting board. You worm your way under it, and like you're basically following the paths that an actual bug would take, so that none of the grannies in the kitchen furiously making cakes see you and crush you. You get in, and there is a corridor. It seems to have a little bit less foot traffic in here.
Right, so we have the room in the north and the room in the south. Is are either of the doors open?
There are open doors. There are, in fact, 4 doors, 3 double doors and a single door.
Well, this one's closest, so let's go through there.
Give me another infiltration roll and a perception roll, please. Fortunately for you, the people in here are pretty busy. It seems to be a group of musicians and... Oh god. Oh wow, that's bad. Someone's flat. Oh god, someone did not tune that clarinet properly.
This is where I am very glad that I'm running it on autonomous, so I can just go, nope, I'm not switching off the sounds.
Yeah, someone has managed to mistune their clarinet and they're a quarter note out, and it's just clashing horribly.
God, I am so glad I am in there with the drone and not actually in there.
Where are you heading from there? And each time you go into a room, just give me the perception and stealth.
Oh, well, since we're in here and there's a door there, actually, if I'm here, it's probably easier to go out back into the corridor and then into this one.
Yeah, nobody spots you. So you got 1 hit on perception and...
2 hits on infiltration.
Yeah, so they don't see you. There's a lot of women with babies in here.
Right, back the drone out straight away, or one of the babies will try to eat it.
They are very much still very, very small. Some of the women here, like they appear to currently be having a discussion about breastfeeding.
All right, this room next.
Okay, so give me your rolls again.
Oh fuck, could be better.
Well, it's not a glitch. You got no hits, but it's not a glitch. Fortunately, there doesn't really seem to be anybody in here. There's a couple of people just having a smoke. It's like a veranda area.
Okay, there's only one room left. This is the kitchen, yeah?
The kitchen is behind you.
We try out this room next.
Yeah, 1 hit on infiltration and your...
3 hits on perception.
Yep, so there is an older, balding man sat behind a desk, tapping away at a cyber terminal, and a slightly younger woman who is also at a desk. It seems to be the office for the community centre.
Fair enough.
There is that mysterious dark patch with 2 doors off the side rooms, but that could just be a cupboard.
Give me a logic plus intuition check, please, Huggy.
2 hits.
Most of the tables here are the ones with the folding legs, and it's like the shitty plastic chairs with the metal legs that stack.
I know them very well.
And these rooms have that utilitarian carpet. We're expecting shit to be moved around constantly, look.
Well, we take the drone. We are going to ignore this area for now. There's too many people in that area. I don't really want to try my luck.
They're now doing a version of Take 5, and one of them...
we leave. We are leaving immediately.
One of them is half a bar behind.
We are leaving immediately.
Someone's flat, someone's half a bar behind. It's like, oh.
Someone get the conductor a better pointy stick.
Somebody get that conductor a taser.
That's the other option.
Honestly, if you just ran in there and started beating them all with a table leg, the music would not decrease in quality.
It would increase, because then some of them would stop playing.
Are you going to check out the other area?
Yes, we are going to go to here next.
Alright, I will need another infiltration roll from you, buddy.
That's 3 hits.
You're absolutely fine. Where are you going first? There is a door here as well as the other one. You can see.
Well, we're going into that one first then.
All right, I will save you a bit of time. You found the bogs. Congratulations.
Right, okay. Well, that's always useful information.
There are currently some kids in here, one of whom is getting his head flushed down the toilet by 2 older... Well, it's an older boy and an older girl. Apparently they don't like this kid very much.
Well, neither do I.
Well, that seems perfectly justified, yeah.
What kind of glass is in this window?
I'm gonna say it's a fire exit.
That works.
Anything's a door if you're belligerent enough.
If you're troll enough.
I was about to say, this place was built for humans.
We have Merkin on the team. Anything's a door.
A fire exit in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, if the building's on fire and you get caught short, it means you don't have so far to run, so you can actually pull your keks up.
Also, the kitchen is between the toilets and the main exit. So if this area is on fire, you don't really want to run through here to get to the exit.
They're racist, not bad architects.
But I mean, you've got a plentiful supply of water to keep things under control, and you can always breathe the toilet gas.
Is there enough space under the fire exit to go through the fire exit?
Give me a maneuvering, I'd say.
There we go, 1 hit.
Yeah, no, you're not getting under this. It's like one of those,
One of those actual steel doors.
yeah, with the insulation strips around it and stuff like that, because New York gets fragging cold in the winter.
That is true. Well, then we go back out into the main room and try and get into here.
Give me a quick perception check.
2 hits.
There is a vent.
Well, then we get into the fucking vent.
All right, give me another maneuvering roll.
That's 2 hits on maneuver.
This area, it's pretty obviously a store cupboard. It's dark right now. The door into here is actually shut. There's like a couple of tables and a stack of chairs. One of them's got its leg snapped off, because there's always a chair that's had its leg snapped off in these places. Doesn't seem to be cleaned all that often either. Give me a perception check.
That's 2 hits on perception.
There is an area in the corner that is quite badly scuffed, and the floor is mostly laminate, but there seems to be a steel plate in the floor over there.
Well,
That'll be where the prisoners are.
let's go investigate that then.
You head over to it, and it seems to be like a hatch, and that is set into the wall. There is like a steel door. It's just at the very, very back of the store. It looks like an elevator door.
So in the walls, it looks like there's an elevator door.
Yeah, and there's a hatch as well in front of it.
In the ground, in the floor.
Yeah, in the ground. It's closed.
That is definitely interesting. They can have the spirits look at this later. Does the vent go through to the next room?
Yep, that's more kitchen area, basically. The red square is basically where the hatch is.
Cool. I think we've got all that we can out of Darmeling, so I will see if I can find an exit to the outside and join.
I'm not going to make you roll for that, just you manage it. Toyger, what are you doing?
I am mingling.
Give me an etiquette roll to see roughly how well you mingle. In what manner are you mingling?
I'm just going to just mingle with people that are attending the community centre, chat to them, ask how they're liking the day, what they think of it. I was trying to book a hall, but the Humanis Poly Club have it booked solid. I think my dad was with them, weren't they? Just try and find out what the general vibe is here. Like,
all right, give me an etiquette roll to see how you do, please. We'll just do one roll.
So the other thing is, I have first impressions as a trait, so I get +2 to social tests the first time I meet people.
You do indeed. Roll it with +2.
2 hits.
People are a little bit... we don't know you. So what you're mostly getting is polite nothing. You're getting a general feeling of these are very, very middle class people. There's a little bit of gossip going around. You do notice there's a couple of people that have got pistols on their hip, and like you hear mention of open carry licenses a couple of times. You get the impression that some of these people kind of see themselves as the good guy with the gun.
These are like that cop that's got the Punisher logo as his phone's home screen and yet would not run into an active shooter situation. Okay, I'm just barely keeping my smile in place as like I fight the urge to like bite these people's throats out.
It's probably why you only get 2 hits, because they kind of getting the impression of there's something off, but we can't put our finger on it. But he's such a nice young man, that kind of deal.
There's nothing going on astrally. There's no one that really stands out. Has Huggy rang us and let us know about the weird hatch?
As soon as she has that information, she'll pass that round to everyone. That we've been pretty much everywhere in this place, and this looks like the most likely.
Damerling couldn't get anywhere through the hatch, could it?
No, it's like a big steel hatch that's currently closed.
So it's not likely that a Watcher Spirit could.
Watcher spirits can, because they can just pop through.
Oh yeah, they move through walls, don't they?
They can
Okay.
pop through on the astral plane and then rematerialize.
Toyger's going to make polite excuses and take himself to the toilet and lock himself on a cubicle. Put the lid down, like you'll find the cleanest one possible, obviously. Put the lid down, sit on it cross-legged.
One with the fewest number of children being
Swirlied.
Oh yeah, there's children in there, aren't there? Is there any way I can intimidate them into fucking off?
I mean, if you want to intimidate children into not swirling the shit out of the poor kid, then yeah, you can do that, or you can go outside. Whatever you prefer.
I'm going to go into the bathroom. I'm going to catch them doing it. And I don't know, I'm an adult. I'm probably a bit taller than them. Wearing a leather coat, I've got a face tattoo. I'm guessing they'll be a bit spooked out. He's got his right eye's tattooed with rays of the sun around it. I'm guessing I am a bit intimidating to them. I'm just going to say, neither of you got anything better to do with your time, man?
They kind of look at you and go, nope. And the girl just shoves him into the next stall along. You can hear the stall they just came out of refilling, and the boy pulls the chain. The kid they're swirling is crying at this point.
I'm never going to forgive them for this. I'm going to be a responsible adult. Leave the boy alone before I tell your parents.
Give me an intimidate check.
I don't have intimidate or anything, so I'm guessing I'm defaulting a skill to charisma.
Yep, you do have first impressions though, so you get +2.
2 hits.
They also get 2 hits. One of the girl kind of looks like she's squaring up to you a little bit and goes, oh, you gotta tell my mum. You don't even know who I am. You have no idea who my mum is.
Well, I suppose I could just shout into the hole, the snot-nosed brat with the terrible hair and the bad teeth, but I don't think that would narrow it down.
She kind of looks at you and says, I've never seen you before. You're in a bathroom with me. All I need to do is scream.
You're in the men's bathroom and you're a 5-year-old girl. I'm not the weirdo here. At this point, I storm out and go outside.
She gives you a shit-eating grin as you leave and says, and that'll make it look worse, mister.
As I'm walking out to find a nice tree to hide under, I do grab a passing adult and make it clear there's a girl in there swirling a young boy, and for some reason she's not got her trousers on. It's very bizarre.
So as you're going out of the door, you hear a, Stacey, what do you think you are doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I was going to suggest that Sunshine see if we can identify this girl and then track her down and then, fill her entire bedroom with jail rounds, but this seems better.
Thank you for listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoy the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. Intro is More Human Than Human by Carl Casey, and the background music is also by Carl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash. All sound effects are from freesound.org and credited in the show notes. The Tops Company Inc. has the sole ownership of the names, logo, artworks, marks, photographs, audio, video, and/or any other proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Tops Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and/or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. Original content of the Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 2.0, so if you use any part of the show, please credit us accordingly.